Quite possibly the greatest mode of travel of all time, railways have been crucial in expanding our ability to see the world, helping industries grow, and stimulating research in various areas of science and technology. From the fastest, oldest, and highest trains to incredible stations and curious tidbits, I wanted to take a look at some of the most fascinating train facts that might surprise you. So let's get started. Traveling at a mind-boggling speed, Shanghai's magnetic levitation train, better known as the MagLev train, is the world's fastest passenger train. It has a spine-tingling operational speed of 267 miles per hour. 267 miles per hour. Now, this train connects Shanghai Pudong International Airport with Longyang Road Station, which is in the outskirts of Pudong. Now, this train travels an average of 143 miles per hour, and the journey between the international airport and the Longyang Road Station is about 19 miles, which means that journey is completed within 8 minutes. Sure seems to me like Mr. Musk is a few years behind with his Hyperloop. You might be surprised to hear that the United States has the largest railway network in the world, and it's by a large margin. With a total route length of over 155,000 miles, it's 2.5 times longer than the second largest network, which is in China. It's the U.S. freight rail network that makes up 80% of this staggering length, while passenger rail, run by Amtrak, is comprised of more than 30 train routes connecting 500 destinations across 46 American states. Isn't that amazing? We've talked about the fastest train. I suppose now it's time to talk about the slowest train on the planet. The slowest express service in the world is found in Switzerland. It's called the Glacier Express. Now, the Glacier Express takes a whopping 8 hours to cover a distance of just 181 miles. Just 181 miles. Now, the reason for this is because the scenic route takes in sites like the Oberlippe Pass, which is the highest point of the journey. It goes over the Landwasser Viaduct, which is a 6-arch bridge, which stands about 213 feet in the air. And then it plunges straight into a tunnel that leads through a mountain. The day-long trip covers about 91 tunnels, 291 bridges, and it offers the chance to take in some stunning alpine meadow, mountain lakes, and chalets. The steepest cogwheel railway in the world is also found in Switzerland. Now, this train ferries passengers up to the summit of Mount Pilatus. And this is not a small feat. This train reaches a maximum gradient of up to 48%. Imagine that, 48%. It must feel like that train is about to topple over at any second. It clings to the mountainside. It passes through tunnels that are carved into the mountain. And I can only imagine what a beautiful landscape it must be. 48%. Do you ever wonder what the longest distance you can travel by train? Well, crossing 2 continents, an incredible journey begins in Porto, which is in Portugal, and ends in Singapore. It's the longest you can possibly do by train alone. It covers an approximate distance of 10,000 miles. The route leads from Porto to Warsaw in Poland, before traveling east to Beijing in China. From there, the journey turns south to Vietnam and reaches Singapore via Cambodia and Thailand. The full journey would cost around $7,000 and take at least 12 days to complete. 10,000 miles by train. The oldest railway still in operation today is found in Leeds, England. Founded in 1758, the Middleton Railway operates as a heritage railway today, but it was originally opened to transport coal from the Middleton pits to Leeds, which led to the city of Leeds becoming a center for many developing industries. In 1812, it also became the first commercial railway to use steam locomotives successfully. Now, passenger service on the line didn't begin until 1969, but today visitors can still ride the trains and visit the museum. Oldest railway still in operation, Middleton Railway in Leeds, England. America's oldest operating railroad is found in Pennsylvania. It's called the Strasburg Railroad, and it first came into existence in 1832. Today, it takes its passengers on a whistle-stop tour through the Pennsylvanian Amish country. 4 steam locomotives still pull original rolling stock on a 45-minute round-trip tour. The busiest train stations in the world. This is a lot. We have to start at the top, which is the Shinjuku Station in Tokyo, Japan. This station services over 3.6 million passengers every day. 3.6 million cats pass through that rail station every day. That station has more than 200 exits and is made up of 5 smaller stations. In Europe, the busiest is the Gare du Nord, which is in Paris, France. It serves around 214 million passengers every year. And of course, Penn Station in New York is the busiest in North America, which is about 1,000 passengers departing every 90 seconds. So this station is famous for its long name. Take a look at that name. I can't even begin to pronounce it. It's sort of known as Lillanfair, I believe. But this remarkable train station is in Wales, which is in the UK. It's exactly 57 letters long. The station serves the village of Lillanfair, Polywog something, and it roughly translates as St. Mary's Church in the hollow of White Hazel near a rapid whirlpool, and the Church of St. Tirso near the Red Cave in English. It turns out the name has no historic significance and is really just a marketing gimmick from the 1880s to attract tourists, and the name stuck. Pretty cool though, right? You could actually go to the moon and back on trains. There are approximately 807,783 miles of railway track on the Earth. And while it certainly sounds like a lot, it's hard to imagine how far that actually is. To put it in perspective, the moon is 238,855 miles away, which means there's enough track on Earth to go to the moon and back, and go to the moon again and come back nearly halfway before we run out of track. 807,783 miles of track. Isn't that amazing?